Good morning, everybody. Jody Brozick with WinterWarriorsLive.com, joined again by head coach Dan Aaker of the Winter Warriors. Dan, we're back to the playoff schedule. Nothing normal about it. Here we go, the 3-week run. Interesting week. Last week, a week ago today, tragedy strikes the Winter Warrior family. And in that time, we've played 1 football game and 6 volleyball games. We move on to Parkston here tonight, but before we do that, talk to us about the Jones County White River football game.
Yeah, that was a tough night for everybody. I think just with, obviously the passing of Taylor and the 2 days leading before that, it was just really hard for everybody. But I was very happy with the strength of our players, the strength of our school and staff and community, and obviously that really helps. I think that the Thursday night's game was, for me personally, probably one of the hardest things to go through, just because of all the emotions that went with it, and I guarantee that was the same with our kids. I think one thing that was really nice to see was having Tristan back, come back for that game, and that helped him a lot, but also helped our guys. We played well. We were the better team. I think there's no question about it. But we played well. Defensively, forced 4 turnovers. Offensively, we had some big plays. We had a punt return, and after the game, was just a lot of emotion. I think there's a lot of relief and release that came out after the heavy hearts that we played with, and then obviously a lot of them to play with for Taylor. So. It was good to get past that one, I think, and then work ourselves through the next few days, and it's still kind of a process, but each day gets a little better, I think. And I guess the one thing that we've talked about a lot, and I think we truly believe, is we have a lot of closeness, and they've leaned on each other, and quite honestly, Jody probably they brought them closer, and that's always a good thing.
Jones County White River with an incredible gesture to start the game. That definitely deserves, a moment of our time.
Yeah, without question. They brought flowers and balloons, and we'd had Taylor's uniform on the sideline, and we felt that was the right thing to do that night. And for them to come over and do that was an incredible gesture. And it's not just Jones County White River. I've heard from so many different coaches and so many ADs and so many different schools, and the flowers that were from other schools. It's great to live in South Dakota, and the closeness in especially talk athletics, because you see each other so much, and they understand, and they know, and they have a lot of sympathies and prayers and thoughts for our entire community, and especially the Watson family. So. That was really nice to see. There was a great gesture from Jones County White River.
Tonight's opponent, a familiar opponent. We saw them, 3 weeks ago? Yeah. The Parkston TROJANS coming to town, coming off a huge win over the number 2 ranked Groton Tigers. They went 34-14 on the road. No different than before. What are your expectations from the TROJANS?
Yeah, and I think going back to their game with Groton is they really physically played hard, and I thought that was probably the advantage that night against Groton, is how physical they played. And I think if you asked our guys, they'd say the same thing. That was probably the most physical team we played there. And I mentioned after the week after we played them, how low they play, and they're good tacklers, and they're going to come right at you. So it's not the best. The team I would pick to play in the first round. I think I mentioned that before too, but we saw them same scenario last year. They're right up there, Jody, and you know as I do that they could be. They're certainly top 5, and at any given night they could be, right there. So we definitely got to be ready to go. And I think, it's probably a good thing. It really is. I think this team needs challenges. I think this team needs to keep their edge. They know who's coming to town, and they certainly want to, compete and perform against the best. So we're okay with that. We're okay with seeing Parkston right out of the gate, and I think that's good for us. They bring some challenges. A lot of good running backs. A lot of people can get the ball to. I think big keys for us, obviously, are similar to what we did last time we played them. Is we got to stop the run, which starts up front, and we got to do our job on the line of scrimmage because they're big and physical, as I said before. So we got to do a good job on the line of scrimmage, and then we really need to get to Colbert during passing situations and get him uncomfortable back there and maybe a little frustrated, which I think happened the last game too. So we really need to set the tone defensively. Offensively, we threw the ball really well against them last time, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they may make. But I also talked, I think, after that game with you that, those are the games that's really probably tough. If we're throwing and having consistency there, and it's really kind of pick your poison defensively because they really tried to stack the box to stop our run, and we were able to go over the top. So we'll have to do a pretty good job of keeping that balance tonight too. But once again, offense starts the line of scrimmage too. A big improvement, which we need to have against teams like this, is our special teams, and that they were exposed us a little bit. I think the last time we focused a ton on special teams here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully we can get that done. Because field position becomes such a big deal when you come playoffs, especially I think for us, our defense is playing so good that if we can keep teams on their side of the field, the chances of them extending drives without a big play are going to be very hard. So if we get that from our special teams, that's pretty big for us. So it's a great first round matchup at 11B. I'd say it's one of the better ones. So we're excited for them to come here, and the good news is we do have them at home now. We don't have to make the road trip, and it's good for our fans. And I expect a pretty good crowd tonight. So we're excited to get it going here. You build up to the whole, in our mindset is the regular season is to get where we're at, right? We got the number 1 seed. We got home field advantage. We consistently got better. I think we're playing our best football right now, and that's what you want to be doing right now. So now it's just a matter of making sure you have no regrets of how you prepared or how you played when you leave the field every night in the playoffs, and that's what I expect our guys to do tonight.